2 and 6 says, train up a child in the way that it should go, and when they get old, they won't depart from it. So our scriptorial topic would be train up a child in the way that it should go, and they won't, when they get old, they will not depart from it. Proverbs 22 and 6. But today I want to talk about strategies of how to do it. How are you going to train up a child in the way that they should go if you're not a good or a godly father? Amen? Are y'all going to work with me? Number one, there's two categories of men that we're going to deal with, fathers that we're going to deal with today. First category of fathers is going to be, number one, a good father. Number two, the second part is going to be a godly father. There's a difference in being a good father and a godly father, okay? So there's two types of fathers that we want to deal with today. Number one is a good father. Number two is a godly father. All right, number one, let's deal with the good father. Are y'all ready? Number one, I got about 20 steps, so I need you to walk with me. All right, number one, a good father, number one, must have fun. Somebody shout, have fun. All right, you got to make sure that you allow your children to know that fatherhood is not a burden to you. All right, a good father make sure that the children know that that fatherhood is not a burden. That even though it's a big responsibility, you should show your children that you enjoy being their father. You shouldn't make them feel like that they were the mistake because you couldn't stand. Okay, I ain't gonna go that route yet. But let's make sure that you have fun, okay? All right? A good father makes sure that that the children know that it's fun. I enjoy being your dad. Amen? Not this stuff about, man, I could have been, you don't know where I could have been. Start having all these children. All right? So number one, to be a good father, you have to allow your children to know that you enjoy being their father. Somebody say, have fun. Number two, you have to spend time with and take responsibility for your children. Other words, don't miss opportunities when you can spend time with your children because you are trying to compete with other folks. And your interest is to have what other folks got. Sometimes our overtime need to be at home. What you don't understand is if you're going to be a good father, you got to spend time with your children. Children are their intellect is very sharp. It's sharper than you think. They know how you always make excuses why you can't show up for their PTO programs, or you can't show up for their little things that they have to do at school, or their little kindergarten graduation. You can't show up for nothing, none of that stuff, but you take off work for every other thing else you want. Your child only graduated from kindergarten one time. Don't miss it. Are y'all hearing what I'm saying? A good father don't miss opportunities when he don't have to. All right? Because once you miss that opportunity, you can't get it back. A good father must learn how to, watch this, establish an intimate relationship with his children at a young age. That's why I say you got to spend time with them. If you don't spend time with them, then they're going to take up to whoever does. And sometimes it might, since you don't give them a hug at home, they get them a thug in the street. All right? Number three, you have to be a teacher by both words and example. A good father must be a teacher by words and example. Don't just tell your children, show them. Don't just tell your children, I am not buying you nothing. Show them why you can't buy it. See, sometimes children don't understand why you make the decisions you make. See, they looking at you bought me the new Jordans and an Xbox last year, but see, it's your job to tell them, honey, do you remember when I bought you the new Jordans and the Xbox, the next month the lights got cut off? You have to show them why you make decisions. Don't just expect your children to just receive what you say. You have to show them, you have to tell them, but here it is. The best thing you can do is show them why you make the decisions you make. Because everybody make mistakes. But the key to it is don't make the same mistake again. So you have to learn how to tell your children, watch this. One of the best things you can do to your kids is show them that money don't just grow in your pocket. You need to show your children that there ain't no magical tree that produce money in your pocketbook. You got to be able to watch this. You need to be honest with your children and let them know that, watch this, quit hiding from your children what you make. The earlier your children know how much you make, the earlier they can understand what you got to go through. If you don't make but $1,000 a month and your rent is this and your light bill is that and your car insurance is this and your life insurance is that, your tithes is this, you need to tell them. Let them, don't just say, I ain't able. Show them you ain't able. Say, look, I don't make but $1,000 a month. And when you add up all of this, all my bills come up to $960 a month. So that means I don't have but $40 to last me till I get my next check. So you can't expect me to buy you a new iPhone with my $40 because I got to feed you. Okay, yeah. One of the best things you can do with your child is teach them by an example. Show them how to manage your money. Then when they get old, they already have an idea and an understanding of how to survive. Because they walk through it with mama. They walk through it with daddy. Number 4, men. A good father, number 4, shows affection. A good father don't walk around, boy, tighten up, son, tighten up. What you crying for? What you want? Get on away from me. A good father shows affection. Can I tell you something? You hugging your son, possibly kissing him on the forehead, that won't give him homosexual tendencies. To be honest with you, if you hug your sons and show them and embrace them with brotherly love and show them the affections, matter of fact, can I tell you that will show them how to show affection to somebody else? So you wonder why some men don't even know how to show affection to their wife. It's because they didn't never get affection from us. So we think that it's the woman's job to be lovey-dovey and show affection. There's nothing wrong with a man showing his children affection. Number 5. If you're going to be a good man, respect your children's mother. Did you hear me? I didn't say respect your wife. Did y'all hear me? Because some of us got some baby mamas that ain't exes, they wives. They ain't the ex, they are why in the world did I? Talk to me, y'all. But if you're going to be a good father, no matter how you feel about your children's mama, respect her. Because however you treat your child's mother, that's what you are telling your son to do to his wife. If you got babies all over town and you dog out everybody that's out of your house and the only person you show affection to is the woman in your house, then when your son get old and he start making babies all around town, he ain't gonna respect but the one woman that's in his house. You got to be able to show him that it does not matter who the woman is or how wrong she did, she still birthed your baby. Oh, I know it's getting tight. Some of them don't want to hear this, but I'm going to say it anyway. You cannot be a good man if you're going around mistreating your children's mother. You're teaching your daughters that this is how you're supposed to allow men to treat you. Number 6. Don't place unreasonable expectations on your children. Children already have enough pressure on them growing up by siblings and kids in school, teachers, coaches. You need to help your children understand what's inside of them, their desires, rather than vicariously living your life through your children. Because you didn't accomplish something, you want them to accomplish what you didn't accomplish. In other words, you want them to be the you that you couldn't be. Because you didn't make it to the NFL, you want to put your child in the weight room at 3 years old. Talking about giving them an early start. Are y'all with me? Don't put unreasonable expectations on your children. Don't live your life. Don't live your children. In other words, don't live your life through your children. Help your children find their identity. Don't make them be what you couldn't be. Next. Number 8. Number 7. Okay, see, I got somebody with me. Number 7. Don't place unreasonable expectations on yourself. Don't place unreasonable expectations on yourself. I want you to understand this. When I say don't place unreasonable expectations on yourself, don't try to take the blame for everything your child do wrong, and don't try to take the credit for everything they do right. Because the truth be told, you hadn't taught your child everything that they do right. You can't shoot, so how you taught them how to shoot? Come on, somebody. Y'all see what I'm saying? Somebody, what I'm trying to tell you is, what I'm trying to get you to see this, watch this. If somebody else can teach your child how to do something good, then stop taking the blame and trying to shoulder your children when they do devilish stuff because somebody else taught them how to do wickedly. Oh God, y'all ain't hear what I'm saying. You need to understand that there comes a time where you need to be able to say, you know what, that ain't my child right there. Can I show y'all somebody that father and mother should have said that about him a long time ago? There's some times in my life that if my mama and daddy knew some of the stuff that I was doing and saying, they would have looked at me and said, that ain't my child right there. I know physically that's my child, but that stuff he doing don't come out of my house. I don't teach that kind of stuff. So you need to learn how to see when your child is walking in a spirit that has not been birthed out of your house. Because you need to understand that just like they can pick up some good things out the street, they can pick up some stuff out the street that does not. So stop putting unreasonable expectation on yourself like you got to keep your children up standing. You train them up in the way that they should go. You do your job at home, and if they get out there and allow the street to outweigh what you're training them at home, then you let them deal with that themselves. I never forget. I don't know if I told her. I think I just told her reason, but I don't know. Maybe I did. If I didn't, it still fit now. I never forget the time when my dad used to get me out of jail all the time. And then I never forgot the time when he left me in jail. And I was just so used to him. Soon as they get me to the jail, he out there getting me before they can even get me in the bank. Soon as before they can even take my picture, anything. My daddy was there, so it didn't matter. I'm like, y'all can't do nothing to me. I'm Reverend Ponder's son. He'll be out here. Take me to jail. My daddy will come get me. But then I remember there was a time when I got locked up. I called Dad. I was in Dooley County. I said, Daddy, come get me. He said, all right, son. That was that Sunday morning, and I said, well, he can't come Sunday morning because he got to go to New Grove and preach. But soon as he get through preaching, my daddy coming to get me. And I thought about it. I said, oh, yeah, he got to come get me because New Grove is on program in Macon. So he got to come through Dooley County to get to Macon. So I said, he going to argue at me, but he going to come get me. 3 o'clock came, 5 o'clock came, 8 o'clock came at night. 11 o'clock came, I called back to Moultrie. Dad answered the phone. 11:30 at night, he answered the phone in Moultrie. That means he done left Moultrie, went through Dooley County, went to Macon, came back through Dooley County, and came back to Moultrie. And you know what? I ain't been to jail not one time since. See, you got to stop putting yourself in unreasonable position. When your child or your children are not acting like you raised them, there comes a time you have to back up and say, you got yourself in it, you get yourself out of it. I'm not putting my house up for you and you're not obedient. I'm not taking my little savings that I got set to my paying no bondsman. Sit there, you ain't got no job, no way. All right. Listen. Don't put yourself in unreasonable expectation of yourself. Don't put unreasonable expectation on yourself. It's not your job. I know some of us just say some of the things that I go to hell for my children. I'm gonna tell you right now, I ain't going broke for mine. Forget going to hell. I ain't going broke for mine. If you disobedient and contrary, Daddy, you got it and won't. I sure do, and I'm gonna keep it unless, oh God, unless it's something that I did wrong raising you. Now, see, some of y'all can't say this now, because see, if you didn't put it in them, then you don't have to get them out. But see, when you were putting a blunt to their mouth when they were 4, when you letting them sip on your Bud Light when they was 5, and you laughing, look, then ain't nothing you can say when he turned out to be Moultrie's biggest drunk. But when you know that you didn't put it in them, I trained them up. I've done my job training. Now here it is. And I'm about finished with this, and I'm going to have a few minutes on the godly man, and we're finished. But watch this. Number 8. Fathers, realize that a father's job is never done. Realize that a father's job is never done. Don't assume and have the expectation that sooner your child turns 18, you free. Oh, come on, y'all might as well tell the truth. That's some of us in here. You've said yourself, oh, I can't wait. Well, my child 15 years old. I got 3 more years. And some of them can't wait until that 18th birthday because you think you're free from being a father. Some have even said, you know, when you remember them nights when you left the Legion, went by Shirley's, went to Waffle House, left down. Y'all remember them one-nighters that turned into what we call 18 years of drama? not matter if it was somebody that you was married to or somebody that you just had a one-night stand with. You do not be released from being a father when they turn 18 or when they finish college or when they turn 21. You must understand that you are their father until one of y'all die. Are you with me? Too many times we get in this mode. We've been trained this. Just put up with a few more years and you'll be through with her and her mama. No. When you get 70 and the child is 57, that means y'all had it when you were 13. But you still the baby daddy. Are y'all hear me? It is important that you understand this, that being a father does not stop when the child turns 18, 21. Have anybody ever heard somebody say, she grown now, she on her own? I can't wait till y'all get grown. Here it is. Come on, Daddy. I want y'all to stay with me now. Don't get mad. Just stay with me because you know how we is now. I can't wait till y'all get 18 because all y'all getting up out my house. I'm getting all y'all up out my house. And your mama better not. She going to be getting out my house with y'all. I'm serious. I'm serious. Well, we're not understanding that we should not do that. We are not a father until they get big enough. As the government say, they are legally an adult. We should treat our children just like God treat us. No matter how old we get in age, we still his children. All right, let's look at this godly man real quick. Let's look at the godly. There is a difference between a good man and a godly man. All right? Godly man is this. Number one, if you're going to be a godly man, number one, y'all ready? It's going to get good now. Number one, you got to be faithful to your wife. All right, number one, you got to be faithful to your wife. Now, you know, when you're a good man and you in the world, when your children see you with women, they see you as a player. But when you're trying to be godly and they see you with women, they see you as a layer. Y'all missed that. You have to be faithful to your wife. Your children don't need to see you running around from woman to woman. Because your example to your wife is an example of how God loved the church. And if you're not faithful to your wife, then you're saying God can't be faithful to the church. Number two, if you're going to be a godly man, you need to attend church regularly with your family. Don't send your children to church by themselves. Don't let your wife be the strongest person in the house. In order to be a godly man, you need to attend church regularly. It's funny how we got men that have perfect attendance at work, but AWOL at church. Huh? Faithful to man to report to man, but unfaithful to report to God. Number three, godly man. Number three, godly man. Number one, I told you, faithful to your wife. Number two, attend church regular with your family. Number three, pray with your family. Y'all heard the saying what? Family that what? That's right. If your children hear you praying for them, then they know that you have a heart for them, because what comes out of your mouth when you pray is actually an utterance of your heart. Sometimes when we can't be affectionate and talk to our children, what they hear us telling God about them shows us how affectionate we are about them. So sometimes prayer is an affectionate conversation even when we're not even talking to each other. Now, for some of us to say, well, I don't know about that, Pastor. My children don't pray. Are you sure? You sure they don't pray, or they just don't pray with you? Because it's funny to me, children that won't pray at church, won't pray at home, but when they get ready to play a basketball game or football game, they can pray with the coach. For as I know, praying is praying, and I got a problem if you can pray with a coach. You out there on one knee with Prost, but you can't be on one knee with Pastor Ponder. Come on, somebody. Your children will pray. But you got to be a person that don't mind praying with them. Number 4, receive the holy sacraments. If you're a man, if you're going to be a godly father, that's 4 things I'm going to give you that you must partake of in your life. Number 1, you must be baptized yourself. Got to be baptized in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Number 1. Number 2, if you believe that God sent his son Jesus, he hung, bled, died, got up, resurrected for our sin, you must take number 2, Holy Communion. And encourage your children to be baptized and take Holy Communion. Number 3, you should have something symbolic or something sacred around your house that shows that God is welcome in here. Everything in your house shouldn't have Nelly on it, Lil Wayne. In the Old Testament, they put the blood of Jesus over their doorposts so that the evil spirit will know this is not a place where you need to dwell. And what you need to learn is we need to start putting some holy sacraments in our house so that when the enemy come in, he look on the wall and see a picture of Jesus and say, oh, I didn't know he stayed here. Let me. That's number 3. Need to place something need to be in your house that says this is a place that welcomes the Spirit of God. Here's the 4th part of that, is that you should dress sacredly. If you are a man of God, and if you're going to be a godly man, then you should dress sacredly. Now, I don't understand how men have gotten to the place where we can't come to church unless it's casual. But if we go to court, I'm not just talking about just church brothers. I'm talking about thugs. I'm talking about thugs in harmony. I'm talking about gang bangers and loose ringers. I'm talking about folk that ain't trying to come to church, but if they know they got to go to court next Tuesday, they mama all at the mall like it's Easter weekend trying to get in some shoes, shirts, socks. But because they're reverencing the judge. If they're going on an interview, they can put on a suit and tie because they're reverencing an employer. But then when we come to church as godly men, we just want to come in some T-shirts and come on, somebody. Let me give you this quick analysis here real quick. You remember women, help me out with this. Remember women when you was expecting this man that you really been infatuated with and you've been wanting to desire him for a long time and then it finally started coming together and you expected him to come to the house and you ain't quite ready, you ain't quite dressed, and all of a sudden you hear a knock on the door? Do y'all remember that no matter how bad you wanted him to come in, how bad you was expecting him, that door will not open? That door door will not open until you finish getting dressed. You be like, wait a minute, hold on. But I got a problem with that, because as I look over the body of Christ, my thing about it is people love to holler about, well, the Bible say come as you are. But here's my question. Why when you were waiting on your boo thing to knock on the door, you didn't come to the door like, hello, come on in, let me go put my other eyelash on and my other hat, and I'll be with you in a minute. Why you didn't come to the door as you are? When you wake up in the morning,